Getting ready to glue this lid holder back onto here, cleaned everything up, did all the prep, put this nice piece of glass underneath so it could sit on top, and it fell down and smashed inside the tank, so that's going to be a problem. Actually, I'll probably just try gluing that in as is because it's just a breeding tank. This middle tie across the tank I also want to tidy up, so I'm going to squirt some silicone underneath here. And it's a bit wonky. I'll do that probably at the same time. Made a bit of a mess, but you can see I've got a fair way underneath there, so that should hold it up. Just going to get a clamp on there and pull that up, and you'll see it'll join up eventually. A bit of a mess, but it'll do. Well, that didn't work too badly at all. It's completely filled that void. Try not to overdo it on the clamp. Just give that a bit of a clean up. It'll look a lot better after we've given it a quick wipe down. It's not the tidiest job I've ever done. We'll let that dry for about 24 hours before we take that clamp off. Laid a quick bead down on here, press that up, hopefully it sticks and doesn't fall into the tank again. And that has worked beautifully. This one's all done, pulled into place, looks really good. This piece of glass will come out, this is just sitting there to guide this. Did manage to crack that piece of glass. Unfortunately I had it sitting here and it fell down this crack and smashed inside the tank. You can see a couple of pieces of glass left there. Luckily I did have a couple of big pieces left, so I've glued all of those together with some silicone. Silicone bead went down really nice and it's looking really good, so I'm going to leave all of this for about 12 to 24 hours. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. But how good's this looking? Won't be long and the fish are going in now. Old Faithful 3D printer is doing really well. A couple of little loose bits there, but nothing that's going to affect the quality. We'll be able to mount some lights up with these brackets. Can't wait. Happy days. These are all finished printing. These brackets are going to hold those batten lights up. Let's go and finish this rack off. The way I've designed these is so they'll literally just clip over this 70 by 35 timber. They actually sit perfectly on there. This is the other side, so it'll literally be 2 screws. There's no weight on these things. These battens weigh nothing at all. And the reason I've done it this way is I found they actually work best up around the back of this rack. This rack doesn't touch the wall, so they'll work really perfectly. I'll show you what it'll look like from the back in a second. I'm ridiculously happy with how these have turned out. I haven't even put screws in them, so you see these battens weigh nothing at all, and it takes nothing for them to sit in there. And the other thing is they're flush with this, so on the back you'll actually get more reflection of the light off the wall and downward light, because I don't really want, like when I'm filming and stuff, I don't really like seeing the light like this. I don't like it coming through to the camera. So in doing this, the light won't be directly hitting the camera because this will be on the back of the rack. So time to get those installed, we'll see how the rack looks. But before I do that, this is all connected now and not wobbling around loose, so it's been silicone together. And this one that I dropped in the tank and shattered into 4 pieces, solid as a rock. Let's get the lights on, see how it looks, and then we can actually start cleaning this last tank, put everything in place, and then it'll be time to do a little bit of plumbing. I've got all the bits and pieces, I've got big pieces of foam coming, and I've bought all the bits and pieces for the matten filters in here. So at the moment, just waiting for the matten filter to arrive, probably show up tomorrow or the next day. So by the time I film this, that should all be done. I've decided to put 4 of these per level. That's all you'll really see from the front. And as for the screws, these are like 8 to 10 gauge 25mm chipboard screws. Don't need anything too crazy. I'm going to zip those in and then we'll put that light on. I've mounted these now because there's not any weight at all going on these, and this is just literally to stop the light from falling off. I've only put 1 in each of those. It was kind of a guess. I didn't know if I'd want one high or low. I always design these so that they've got a chamfer on the holes, and the other thing to remember with 3D printed parts is to make sure that you don't push down too hard or you'll just literally split your piece. So that's literally just holding it on there, it's only just touching. But looking good, I'm really happy. Let's get that light on. What it looks like from the back. Oh, this is so perfect. That's the first one done, and I'm extremely happy. It doesn't poke out a bunch of light at you from the camera angle, which is important if you're a YouTuber, but it still gives plenty of light to the tank. And as we add more and more on, it actually lights more because you've got more bouncing from behind. Now it feels like some progress is starting to be made on this. I love that the lights are hidden behind those beams. So even when you're down at this level, you get the reflection of the light. There's plenty of light in the tanks, and that should be enough to even grow some aquatic plants in there, which is the aim. We'll be growing stuff on the batten filters. The next step now is to plumb these. Now the approach we're going to take with that is the batten filter will filter actively in these, but it'll be done by top up once a week. So I'll actually have an inlet that goes from the hose that I'll disconnect, and it will flow into all tanks at the same rate, and then anything excess will just overflow. So basically it's like a top up automated water change. There'll be another hose connector there which I'll pipe out to the garden. I love this. This is one of my best ideas yet.